everybody, and welcome to another art book overview. This is going to be Drew Ayakura's complete artworks. As you can see, focusing on Spice and Wolf. This book was released in 2011 and is 204 pages of pretty much all full color artwork. There is no real other sort of work aside from Spice and Wolf in here, so this one really is if you're just a fan for that series. As for whether this one's in print or readily available, I'm not too sure, but I do want to say that this has spoilers for the end of the original 17 volume run for the light novel. So if you haven't finished the series, or if you're worried about being spoiled, then I will encourage you to not watch this video, because there is spoilers sort of throughout this, especially towards the end. But like with everything, I'm going to start and just show you a majority of pages, not every single page that there is, but there's some beautiful pieces in this book. As you can see, if you're a fan of the novels, quite a bit of this is related to the color insert and then just the black and white illustrations of those original light novels, as well as the covers. So if you want a book that compiles all of those pieces together, this would be a good choice. There is also a recent Spice and Wolf art book that's been released, but that one is quite out of print. Like I said, as for this one, I'm not entirely sure. If you haven't given the Spice and Wolf light novels a try, I would highly encourage you to, especially that Yen has released all of them up to what is currently available in Japan. It's a very different light novel series than what we are typically seeing within the market nowadays. So if you're getting sort of bored of the typical isekai, I would encourage you to read this one. It's very, very interesting and very likable, very witty, and although it does handle some sort of topics that could be seen as boring, most notably economics and sort of understanding markets, this puts it in a way that's quite easy to consume and understand. You're not going to get lost whilst listening to the characters banter amongst themselves. And like with some other art books, this does have all of the information underneath, so it's likely we're not going to be seeing any last pages with this information, because you can see immediately where something has come from. And this is the final volume stuff, which is the 17th volume. Really is sort of an epilogue, but also short story collection. Yeah, so like I said, especially now we're sort of getting into more of the spoilery stuff. There's also some guest artwork in here, as well as collaboration pieces. I like this piece a lot. Cole's so cute. I wish we'd seen Cole in the anime, but unfortunately that was not to be. This book does also contain art pieces used on the Blu-ray and DVD releases in Japan, so yeah, various pieces from that, as well as, you know, music CDs and the other typical merchandising stuff. This is the ending sequence, if you're familiar with the anime. And we did get a fairly decent amount of artwork for all of the characters. Of course, Holo is the most notable and sort of the most iconic character of the series, and so there's a lot of stuff from her, but that doesn't mean that we don't see some of the side characters and other various people Holo and Lawrence meet throughout their travels. Again, our guest artwork. There's some more at the back here. That was the manga. This one is the light novel illustrator comparatively to the manga illustrator. It's pretty interesting to see how different the same character is in different artists' styles. And yeah, some more. Yeah, guess as oh, you can't see it from here, but it does say guest and which particular artist does which piece. Oh, I was wrong. There is some additional information at the back here for, I think, some of the more major pieces. And with that, that's the end of the book. So I think really, I mean, like I said before, this is a book for someone who's already familiar with Spice and Wolf and preferably has read it all, or at least the first 17 volumes. It's not really something that you should go into if you don't know anything about the franchise or the characters. I mean, you can if you're just wanting to appreciate the artwork, but it does spoil quite a few things for later on in the series. So yes, that's not necessarily the best thing, but of course, like I said, I'm not entirely sure whether this one is still in print. I know the other one that was released last year is certainly out of print, but I will still link in the description the Amazon Japan listing for this book, and then you can assess whether or not it's a book that you want to pick up and whether or not you can afford it. I don't know. Typically, I find the secondhand books via proxy are a good way to go because they're always in good condition, and yeah, you don't really have to worry like with other Amazon sites with third-party listings. But thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Bye till then.